Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
how's it going, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, and it is time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. We're going to be talking about the graphic novels, collected editions, manga, omnis, absolute editions, DC Finest, epic collections, whatever's coming out in the month of October of 2025. So, join me! And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, please don't forget to smash that like button. That goes a long way for us here on the channel. Small thing you can do, but it does mean the world to us. Also, if you want the written documentation, that can be found on our Patreon, and our Patreon starts at $1 a month. I usually put that up on Sunday after I do my top 10, top 13, top 15 books I'm looking forward to. I think this time around we're going to keep it to 10, but we'll see what's coming out. And as always, a big thank you to my buddy Dom of X, who pulls down the information and gets the images, and just a big thank you. Could not be doing this without him, or all of you that are watching this. Thank you for letting this particular segment continue. If it wasn't for you all watching, hitting that like button, sharing the videos, what would be the point of this, right? But here we are, years later, I'm still doing this. The longest video of the month that I work on, but completely worth it. Okay, we've got 4 weeks, not 5, because I already talked about what was coming out October 1st, September 30th. So let's go ahead and talk about the first week of the month, which we're looking at the week of October 8th. I am using the Wednesday dates, by the way, just in case. I know people get their books on Tuesday, and some of the stuff, because of distribution being just a complete nightmare right now, you may have already gotten, or it could be delayed, so please keep that in mind. From Marvel Comics, we are kicking it off with Annihilation, the Modern Era Epic Collection, Desperate Measures. Collecting Annihilation Ronan 1-4, Annihilation, the 6-issue miniseries, Heralds of Galactus 1 and 2, and the Annihilation Nova Corps Files. This book has a total of 408 pages, retailing for $49.99. And this is the volume 2 of Annihilation in epic format. Love that they're kicking it off, the events with Annihilation. Captain America Modern Era Epic Collection, The Burden of Dreams is coming out, collecting Captain America 31-48, and issue 34, the Director's Cut, 480 pages, $54.99. What we are looking at is that Ed Brubaker era, with Steve Epting on artwork with Butch Guice and Roberto de la Torre. Death of Captain Marvel Omnibus, or Captain Marvel Omnibus Volume 2, or Captain Marvel, the original classic era Omnibus Volume 2, whatever you want to call it. I've done an overview of this already if you want to watch it on the channel. This is collecting Captain Marvel 34-62, and then Marvel Spotlight 1-4, and issue number 8. Avengers Annual 7, Marvel 2-in-1, Annual 2, Marvel Graphic Novel number 1, which is where the title comes from, and material from Marvel Superheroes 3, What If 17, and What If 14. This book has a total of 920 pages, retailing for $125, and wrapping up that era of Captain Marvel. Before we got our new Captain Marvel, and that is, of course, Monica Rambeau. That's the only Captain Marvel that has not been collected in Omni format, because we have the Carol Danvers era collected. We don't have our Miss Marvel era collected from, like, the Brian Reed era of Carol Danvers, or I guess binary in a way. But we do have her Captain Marvel era. We have Janice Vell's Captain Marvel era. What we really need is, like, a Monica Rambeau. Oh, I would love that. She's one of my favorites, so. Eddie Brock Carnage, Volume 1, Killing Me. This is written by Charles Soule and Jesus Saiz doing the artwork, collecting the first 5 issues of Carnage. And this is 120 pages, $17.99. Ghost Rider Danny Ketch Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out that very same week. This is collecting Ghost Rider 25-40, Ghost Rider Blaze Spirits of Vengeance 1-13. That's right, you heard it here. Well, I announced this, and I already did an overview. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. Morbius the Living Vampire 1-12, Darkhold Pages from the Book of Sins 1-11, Night Stalkers 1-10. Ghost Rider, Captain America, Fear, X-Men 9, Web of Spider-Man 95 through 96, Midnight Suns Unlimited 3, and material from Marvel Comics Presents 119 and 130, Midnight Suns Unlimited 1 and 2, and Marvel Holiday Special number 3. This book has a total of 1,312 pages and retails for $150, and it is mapped to perfection. Predator, the Theta Saga. So we are looking at the Ed Brisson miniseries, collecting Predator from 2022, 1 through 6, the 5-issue miniseries from 2023, and The Last Hunt from 2024. And that's all 4 issues of that. 376 pages, $44.99. And here we have artwork by Netho Diaz and Kev Walker actually doing a lot of the artwork for the first 2 minis, Francisco Mana. And Leno Francis Yu supplying that cover. Star Wars, Legacy of Vader, The Reign of Kylo Ren. I don't know if y'all have been reading this, but the people, like, my friends that aren't big into comics, that only get Star Wars comics, I know there's a couple friends like that, but that's okay. I've been trying for years, believe me, almost a decade for some of them, to get them to read superhero comics or like independent comics or Image comics. It doesn't matter. They just like Star Wars. But they told me that this is one of the best Star Wars stories, and I haven't heard any of my viewers talk about it. But this is collecting Star Wars Legacy of Vader 1 through 6, and it is an ongoing series, and the material from Free Comic Book Day 2025 Star Wars number 1. This is written by Charles Soule, who of course has written novels and has written a lot of Star Wars comics. Luke Ross supplying the artwork with Stefano Raphael, and the cover there's by Derek Chu. This book has 152 pages, retailing for $19.99. So let me know in the comments down below if you have read the series, what you think about it. Moving on to the world of DC Comics. Man, we got a lot of goodies wow! 2 absolutes back to back. Absolute Batman Dark Victory is coming out, and that is back in print. This is the 2025 edition. Keep in mind, this has only had 1 printing, so this is huge. Collecting all 13 issues of the series by Jeff Loeb and, of course, the legendary Tim Sale. 408 pages, and it retails for $100. But not the only absolute that is coming out that week, because we are getting the, I want to say this is the 4th printing of Absolute Batman Hush. This is collecting Batman 608 to 619, the Hush interlude from Wizard Zero, and then a bonus section with over 40 pages of behind-the-scenes content. 372 pages, $100. I want to stress the fact that this is straight up a reprint. They did not add the pages from the 25th anniversary. And has it been 25 years? Oh my gosh, no way. 20 years. It had to have been 20th anniversary. It doesn't have those pages. And I know there's only 4 pages, but still people love a more complete story. 372 pages, $100. Batman The Long Halloween DC Compact Edition. So this is collecting, speaking of Dark Victory being the 3rd one in that anthology, this is the 2nd one, and it is collecting all 12 issues of this. And if you haven't read this, this to me is the perfect gift for anybody that has been trying to get into Batman and doesn't want to spend $100 on an Absolute, or even $50 on the Deluxe Edition, or even the $30, or yeah, I think it is $30 for the trade paperback. This is $10 for 376 pages of this great story that to a lot of people is the definitive Batman year 2. To a lot of people. Not everybody agrees with that. It is really good though. Batman 89 Echoes. So this is collecting the miniseries. Sam Hamm, who is the screenwriter of the 1989 Batman movie, teams up with Joe Quinones for another tale set in the Batman 89 universe. So it is a follow-up to that Batman 89 story that they did. This one is 152 pages, $24.99. Batman Arkham Asylum Living Hell Deluxe Edition. So this is Dan Slott and Ryan Sook working together on this particular miniseries. All 6 issues collected in here. This is a reprint, so it is the 2025 edition. And it is a hardcover, and it looks to be deluxe edition size. Sometimes when they say deluxe edition, I have to double check the actual dimensions here. But no, it is. 176 pages, oversized format, $29.99. DC Finest Static, Playing with Fire. That's right. This is where we are going to see Dwayne McDuffie and, of course, Jean-Paul Leon's creation, Robert L. Washington III. This is collecting the first 15 issues of Static, Superman the Man of Steel 36, Superboy 7, and Worlds Collide number 1. So it does have issues from Worlds Collide. 480 pages, $39.99. I am loving the DC Finest. And now we're moving into the Milestone universe, because there's already compendiums, and those are collected in a phenomenal reading order. But this is just sticking to the one series. It's awesome. Gives you different options as to how to collect this stuff. And who knows, maybe one day we'll get a Milestone Omni, or a few. Justice League, The Atom Project. This is collecting The Atom Project 1 through 6. I assume it is the story of Captain Atom. This is by John Ridley and Ryan Parrott with Mike Perkins on artwork. 144 pages, $17.99. Red, which has actually made it in my hidden gems in the past, but it is coming back to print in a 2025 edition. This is by Warren Ellis and Cully Hammer. It is just a mini-series that was originally published by Vertigo, and it looks from the image here that the Vertigo logo is back. So maybe on the spine it'll say Vertigo, or maybe it'll say the DC Bullet. I don't know. It doesn't say the DC Bullet. You'll see the DC Bullet. This is 128 pages, $17.99, and it is totally the inspiration for the movie. Red Hood, Outlaws, Volume 5, Patrick Young and Nico Bascunian. And this is collecting episodes, again, because it is a webtoon series, 47 through 56 of Red Hood. And $14.99, 208 pages. And these are smaller digest-sized books, by the way. What's not a small digest-sized book, but a big old chunker, is The Authority Omnibus Volume 2. This is collecting The Authority Revolution 1 and 2, 4 through 12, Stormwatch Team Achilles 4 through 6, 20, 22 through 23, Authority Kev 1, Authority Scorched Earth 1, The Authority 1 through 14, Authority Human on the Inside 1, more Kev 1 through 4, The Authority 0, Authority Lobo Christmas Crossover 1, Eye of the Storm, Coup d'etat 1 through 4, Eye of the Storm Coup d'etat Afterwards 1, The Wildstorm Winter Special number 1, The Authority Lobo Spring Break Massacre 1, The Authority Magnificent Kevin 1 through 5, A Man Called Kev 1 through 5. The book has a total of 1,600 pages, and it is $175. You have that cover there by Jim Lee. This does have stuff from, of course, Garth Ennis writing a lot of the stuff in here. Ed Brubaker. You have Robbie Robertson, Dustin Wynn, Dwayne Turner, and Carlos Esqueda. Legendary Marvel UK artist, Carlos Esqueda, or 2000 AD artist, rather. It's, of course, Judge Dredd. But I don't know if this will make it in my top 10. It is a big book, but a lot of the stuff I haven't read outside of the Ed Brubaker stuff. And I really want to check out what that Garth Ennis series is like. I thought the Midnighter story was going to be collected in here. That Midnighter by, is it Grant Morrison, I think? Anyway, it is a big book, though. 1,600 pages. And from the world of Image Comics, this brings back a lot of memories, but Battle Pope is coming back to print. This is long before Walking Dead. Tony Moore and Robert Kirkman, two Kentucky boys, did this little indie comic called Battle Pope. This is the 25th anniversary deluxe edition hardcover. You can probably guess what it's about. It's about a Battle Pope. $49.99 for that deluxe edition. Bug Wars is getting a trade paperback, Volume 1, Lost in the Yard. So this is our very first trade paperback. I know the series has been out for a while. But it is one that I've been wanting to read. This is by Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar, and this is collecting issues 1 through 6 of the series. $16.99. And it's getting a lot of praise, not just from fans, but also the industry. Like, a lot of people in the industry are really loving this. I know Scott Snyder spoke about it. 8 Billion Genies is coming out in with two different covers. And this is the trade paperback edition by, of course, Ryan Brown. If you haven't had the chance to read it in a hardcover format, the hardcover format did come out, I want to say, well, when did that come out? It was a couple of years ago, and now it is coming out in a thick trade paperback format. And that's Charles Soule, by the way. Phantom Road Volume 3 is coming out in a trade paperback format. This is by Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Hernandez Walta. And this is $14.99 and collecting Phantom Road 11 through 15. The Transformers Compendium Volume 2 is coming out that very same week. And much like Volume 1, this will come out with 2 different covers. You'll have the regular cover, and then you'll have the direct market cover, and available everywhere on the same day. So there is the Daniel Warren Johnson cover, which is the regular cover. The direct market cover is, of course, the one by Jim Lee, which is showcasing Galvatron. What did he say his name was? From Dark Horse Comics, we are getting Iyanu, Child of Wonder, Volume 5, continuing that series. The library edition of Volume 1 just came out. This is by Roye Okupe and Sunkami Akimboye. And this is all, of course, inspired by a lot of the culture and myths from the Nigerian area. Into the Unbeing. Oh my gosh, this is such a creepy and weird and amazing book. This is by Zach Thompson and Hayden Sherman, who's also drawing Absolute Wonder Woman. I have no idea how they have the time to do that. 128 pages, $19.99, and this is Volume 2. The Magic Order, Volume 5, continuing Mark Miller's series with Matteo Buffagni as the artist on this book. And this is collecting the Magic Order 5, 1 through 6 for mature audiences, 160 pages, $19.99. Yes, one of my favorite series coming back, and that is Carmilla, Volume 3, The Eternal. This is by Amy Chu and Sue Lee with Sal Cipriano. Wonder what he's doing in this book. So this is the conclusion to this epic saga. The Unique Universe Reader, 10 years of award-winning African-inspired fantasy stories, if you want a taste of what is available and what has come out from a lot of the talent, including Iyano in there. This is a great way to do it. And 152 pages, $14.99. Avatar: The High Ground Omnibus. Yes, James Cameron is, of course, on the top billing with Sherry Smith and Diego Galindo. And this one is 264 pages, $29.99. Stranger Things Omnibus Volume 2. And you have talents in here like Greg Pak and Michael Moretti, Keith Champagne and Kaido Felipe and Chris Robertson. This one is 376 pages, $29.99. From the world of Boom, we are getting the Dune House Harkonnen Volume 1. This is by Brian Herbert, of course, and Kevin J. Anderson and Michael Scheffler. And this is collecting House Harkonnen 1 through 4. We're also getting Hero Squared Complete Collection by Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis. Joe Abram is the artist on this book, and this is collecting the Hero Squared Extra Size Special One-Shot, Hero Squared from 2005 1 through 3, the 2006 6-issue miniseries, Hero Squared Love and Death 1 through 3, Planetary Brigade spin-off series, Planetary Brigade 1 and 2, and Planetary Brigade Origins 1 through 3. The book has a total of 464 pages. Wow! For $19.99, that's a hell of a deal, especially when you have those two talented people on the book. The World of IDW, we're getting Order of the Nightshade, Book 2, The River Rises. This is by Jonathan Schnapp, and it is 168 pages, $14.99. Earth Diver Omnibus is coming out by Stephen Graham Jones and David Gianfelici, and this is collecting Earth Divers Volume 1, Kill Columbus, Volume 2, Ice Age, and Volume 3, 1776. 488 pages, $27.99. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto is coming out, baby! That's right, and it looks like this is done in a... I want to say this is a standard edition and not a digest size or a manga tankobon size. 112 pages, $16.99. Issues 1 through 4 are collected in here, and yes, there are 2 covers. That's right. There's a direct market cover as well as the standard edition cover. Caleb Goldner and Henry Prasetia are the 2 people behind the book, and I guess behind the crossover. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1, Return to New York. This is coming out in an inked deluxe edition for a very limited time. 176 pages, $79.99. So it's just a black and white art that was done in issues 1 through 5, while issue number 6 features some of the semi-colored tone process. And it just shows the different styles and the line work of all the different artists that worked on those first 6 issues. Sonic the Hedgehog, the IDW comic covers, is coming out. And this is done in a deluxe format to match your other Sonic the Hedgehog IDW collections. 304 pages, $49.99. The Wind in the Willows, with illustrations by David Peterson, is coming out. Kenneth Graham is the author. And I think this has already been... Archaea Studio, I think, printed the original one. And then they were absorbed by Boom. And I think some of the stuff went over elsewhere. But this has been released. This is coming out in a trade paperback format. In case you've missed it, it is a beautiful collection. From the world of Dynamite, we're getting Karma in a hardcover volume 2 by Dan Wickline and Carlos Reno. Stepan Sajic supplying that cover. This one is $34.99, 136 pages. From the world of Titan Comics, Conan the Barbarian is coming out in a slipcase edition. And what exactly does this slipcase have? Okay, so it has Conan the Barbarian 1 through 3. This is the Jim Zub and Roberto de la Torre and Doug Braithwaite series. And it has 3 exclusive art cards. There are 2 covers. There's the regular edition, which is the Mike Deodato Jr. edition. And then there is the direct market cover. And that direct market cover is supplied by Jay Lee. It has the exact same content. And both of them are $49.99. And from Titan Comics, we're also getting the Loose End trade paperback coming out that same week. And that only has 1 cover. From the world of manga, we are getting Astro Royale coming out that week. And that is a volume 2 from the folks over at Viz Entertainment. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex volume 3. Is this a spin-off of a spin-off? What the heck is this? It's also being published by Viz, $11.99. Bugle Call Song of War is coming out that same week, and that is being published by the folks at Viz, $11.99. Chainsaw Man continuing with a volume 19. By the way, they are so far ahead in Europe with Chainsaw Man. My brother was very, very jealous of that. Dan is on volume 15, and that is coming out that same week in October. We're getting the Hunter x Hunter finally coming back out. And they're on volume 38. That's so awesome to hear. $11.99. Unless, of course, there's more delays. And we're getting Komodo volume 1 coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Viz. We're also getting the Marriage Toxin volume 9 coming out that week. And that's $11.99. We are getting the Moan Junji Ito story collection. This is another one of those hardcovers that they've been putting out with Junji Ito. I think we get 2. I want to say it's 2 a year, 1 a year. We're getting the Outsiders volume 2 coming out that very same week. Mob Psycho is coming out with a volume 15. And that is a restock in case you missed it the first time around. I love when they do this, these type of restocks. Abrams Kana is releasing Silence, Volume 4. This is by Joan Forneri. And that one is $12.99. And Taman's B-Side, Volume 9, is coming out that very same week from the folks at Viz Media. And from other publishers, we're getting The Adventures of Super Diaper Baby. That's right, you heard that right. Super Diaper Baby is coming out in a hardcover collection. And we are also getting the Athanasia original graphic novel coming out that week, as well as the Babysitters Club Volume 18, Jesse Ramsey, the Pet Sitter. Blackula, The Return of the King, is coming out in a trade paperback format. And we are getting the Calvin and Hobbes Portable Compendium. I love those, by the way, that we're getting those Calvin and Hobbes in a portable, like, digest-size book. They've been ahead of the game for a while. Bounce Back Volume 3, Sue, Totally Nala, is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Casa Grande hardcover volume 7, the Sweet Skates, coming out that very same week. And we're getting the Dark Empty Void, and that is coming out in a trade paperback format. We are getting the Crush Depth trade paperback coming out that very same week, as well as the Dead Acre Black Badge, the original graphic novel, coming out that very same week. And Dragon vs. Unicorn, Friends or Frenemies, is coming out in a hardcover format. The Essential Peanut by S.H.I.E.L.D is coming out in a hardcover format that very same week. And that is being published by the folks over at Abrams Comics Art. And this one is $75, and it's a deluxe edition celebrating the 75 years of Peanuts, the life, art, and legacy of S.H.I.E.L.D, and comes packaged with a unique bonus material. Extras include 8 ready-to-frame prints, 5 vinyl stickers, 8 postcards, and an iron-on patch full-color comic book, and more. From the cultural milestones such as NASA's Apollo 10. Okay, maybe if it had like a cultural impact, perhaps? I don't know, it would be really difficult to pick just 10. I don't know if I could do that. Or not 10, however many they put into one book. Expecting the Unexpected is coming out in a trade paperback format. We are getting the Francis Ford Coppola coming out in or at least Megalopolis is coming out in a hardcover format, and that's being printed by the folks over at Abrams Comics Art. And we are getting the Friendship Upgrade coming out that very same week, and that's being published by the folks over at Graphics. We are getting Grimm and Oro Dueling Crowns Edition hardcover Light Lark Saga Deluxe Companion Book coming out that very same week. Boy, that was a mouthful. And the Heartbreak Hotel is coming out in a trade paperback edition, as well as the Investigators Agents of Suit Briefcase. The multi-pack is coming out that same week, and that is being published by First Second Books. We are getting Jellyfish in a trade paperback format, and that's published by Pow Pow Press. It is written and drawn by Baum, $22.95. Joystick Angels trade paperback volume 1 is coming out that very same week, as well as Lost and Found hardcover is coming out that very same week. We are getting the Mark of the Fool light novel volume 2, and Mongoose is coming out in a trade paperback format from the folks at Pow Pow Press. That's by Joanna Mossy, $22.95. We are getting My Favorite Thing is Monsters trade paperback book set volumes 1 and 2. That is being printed by the folks over at Fantagraphics. If you haven't had a chance to read those books, they are a masterpiece. My wife, I don't think she can suggest those books enough. This slipcase is $79.99, and you'll get both volumes in there. And we're also getting the My Life in 24 Frames Per Second. It's coming out in a hardcover format. And My Trip with Drip is coming out, and that's by Helvetic Publishing Company. And Peanuts Every Sunday, 1952 to 1955, is coming out in a trade paperback edition. There's already been a hardcover and a slipcase. Physics for Cats is coming out in a hardcover format. I love that title. Piggy Jungle Pursuit is coming out in a trade paperback format. And we are also getting the Quentin Tarantino. Oh, the original graphic novel of Quentin Tarantino coming out that very same week. This is published by Gemini Gift Books, and it is $25. And Refugee is coming out in a trade paperback from Graphics. And we're also getting Rick and Morty, the Oni Press Compact Comics Edition Unkillable Collection trade paperback. I'm really glad a lot of publishers are doing this now, these little compact editions. Really catching on because of DC's Compact, which is awesome. Summoning Volume 1 is coming out, The Art of the Craft, that same week. Tsunami is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by the folks over at Pow Pow Press, and that is by Ned Wenlock. And we are also getting Witchcraft coming out in a trade paperback format. And The Witch's Egg coming out from Avery Hill Publishing. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I talked about for this week and you live in Canada, check out our first sponsor.
BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $250 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
The week of October 7th or 8th, depending on where you get your books from Marvel Comics, we kick it off with Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, Modern Era Epic Collection, Gwenom. Collecting the 2015 series 25 through 34, Spider-Geddon, Ghost Spider Video Comic 1, and Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider 1 through 10 from 2018. This is 464 pages, $49.99. And it is Jason Latour, Sean McGuire, Robbie Rodriguez, and Veronica Fish. And then, of course, Bengal working on the book. And Star Wars The High Republic Fear of the Jedi is coming out by Kevin Scott and Marika Cresta. Collecting Star Wars The High Republic Fear of the Jedi 1 through 5. Star Wars The High Republic The Finale number 1. 152 pages, $19.99. Ultimate Black Panther by Brian Hill, Volume 3. The Darkness and Light is coming out. This is collecting Ultimate Black Panther 13 through 18. And Stefano Caselli is still supplying the artwork. And this one is 136 pages, $17.99. Weapon X-Men, The Real Thing by Joe Casey and Chris Cross is coming out in a trade paperback format. Collecting all 5 issues of this miniseries. I think it was an ongoing series at first, and then they changed it into a miniseries. I think that's something that Marvel has been doing lately. 120 pages, $17.99. Not just with this series, but a lot of the X-Men series. I think they try to see how well the sales are going for the first 5 issues, and if they keep going well, I think they go all the way to issue 8 or 10, and then they see from there. X-Men by Mark Guggenheim, Omnibus is coming out. Collecting Young X-Men 1 through 12, X-Men 18 through 22. That's the series that was started by Brian Wood, I believe. Yes, with all the ladies. Extinction Agenda from 2015, not the original, 1 through 4. X-Men Prime 1, X-Men Gold 1 through 36, X-Men Blue 13 through 15, X-Men Gold Annual 1, X-Men The Wedding Special 1, X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday 1 through 4, X-Men Manifest Destiny 3, The Beast Story, X-Men To Serve and Protect 3, The Beast Story, and Marvel Comics 1000, The Rest of Your Life. The book has a total of 1,552 pages and retails for $150. So in here you are going to find the work of course, Mark Guggenheim and Yannick Paquette, Carmine Giandomenico, who's doing Flash with, of course, Joshua Williamson, Ken Lashley, and Lan Medina, just to name a few of the creators in this book. It's a big book. X-Men Epic Collection Wounded Wolf. And that we just did the Wounded Wolf story on Old Reader New Reader on Tuesday. If you're watching this on Friday, I'm filming it before we did it. Time loop. Uncanny X-Men 199 to 210, X-Men Annual 9 and 10, New Mutant Special Edition number 1, and Marvel Fanfare issue number 33. 496 pages, $54.99. And it is a freaking awesome story that leads into, and I mean directly into, the Mutant Massacre. From the world of DC Comics, we are kicking it off with American Vampire Book 2. And this is one that has been released in trade paperback, deluxe editions, omnibus editions, but now it's coming out in this, I guess this is a thicker format, 408 pages, $39.99, and this is collecting American Vampire 13 through 25 and American Vampire Survival of the Fittest 1 through 5. Scott Snyder still working with Raphael Albuquerque through this series. 408 pages. Next up is Batman Black and White Compendium, and this is a compendium So it is a soft cover. Collecting Batman Black and White 1 through 4, stories from Batman Gotham Knights 1 through 49, Batman Black and White 1 through 6, and Batman Black and White 1 through 6. So it looks like it's mapped a little bit different than the, oh my gosh, 1,256 pages, $59.99. Woo, that is thicker than a stack of divorce papers, baby. My gosh. I hope they hold up well. $59.99. Batman, Ego, and Other Tales by Darwin Cook Deluxe Edition is coming out. This is one that has previously come out, and 256 pages, $39.99, but it is now coming out in a reprint in a deluxe edition. And it is Darwin Cook working on these stories, so what else is there to say? Birds of Prey by Gail Simone, Omnibus Volume 1, collecting issues 56 through 90. The previous issues were, of course, done by Chuck Dixon. And then Birds of Prey Secret Files number 1. And oh my gosh, you are in for a treat. You've got some Ed Benes artwork in here that is, woo! They knew their target audience. That cover there, though, is supplied by the super talented Nicola Scott, who will eventually take over the series. But all written by Gail Simone, 968 pages, $125. DC Finest Supergirl, Body and Soul. Collecting Showcase 96 number 8, Supergirl 1 through 18, Supergirl Annual 1 and 2, and Supergirl Plus number 1. One of my most wanted omnis, but you know what? If you can't get it in omnibus format, get this, because it is so good. This will definitely make it in my top 10. If you've never had a chance to read this weird, obscure story of not necessarily Supergirl, oh, it is so damn good. Superman Man, this top 10 list is going to be difficult. How am I going to pick these? This is so hard. Superman the Triangle Era Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out. And yes, that's a Panic in the Sky cover right there. Superman 64 to 77, Adventures of Superman 487 to 499, Action Comics 674 to 686, The Man of Steel, Superman the Man of Steel at that, 9 through 21, Justice League of America 69, Superman Legacy of Superman 1, Supergirl Team Luthor Special number 1, News Time, The Life and Death of Superman number 1. The book has a total of 1,480 pages, $150, and yes, it will double dip with the Death and Return of Superman Omnibus. Volume 3 will double dip with it, but there's nothing you can do. It's just, that is an event omni. Marvel has been doing it for years, where we have your event omni and you have your ongoing series omni. So double dipping is going to happen. Triple dipping is going to happen. DC's catching up, and it's, oh my gosh, they're going to be quadruple dipping here in a few years. So just keep that in mind. It's inevitable. From Image Comics, we are getting Bitter Root trade paperback volume 4 coming out. Huge fan of this series. This is collecting Bitter Root, The Next Movement 1 through 5. It's not been collected in the hardcover format by, of course, David Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. $17.99. Man, do I love me some Bitter Root. It is so damn good. Like, if you haven't had a chance to read that stuff, get the trade paperbacks, because the trade paperbacks are a great way to catch up. Next up is Haunt, the complete collection trade paperback. That has been previously collected, believe it or not, in, oh my gosh, it's been trade paperbacks. I don't think it ever got a deluxe edition, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that the Haunt has only been available in trade paperbacks, because I remember the very first one had that cover price of $9.99, but now you can get them all the stories in one sitting here with this compendium, because this is collecting issues 1 through 28, and it is $49.99. So in here you're going to have the work of Todd McFarlane, Joe Casey, Robert Kirkman, Ryan Ottley, Greg Capullo, Nathan Fox, and Raymond Gray, just to name a few of the creators, not collectors. I guess they're also collectors. And World 3, or World Tree, with the 33 at the end, trade paperback volume 3 is coming out that same day. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, Let This One Be a Devil volume 1 is coming out from the mind of James Tynion and Steve Fox. Peter Kowalski does the artwork, collecting the 4-issue miniseries. And from the world of Boom Studios, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Death Ranger Volume 2 is coming out, or Death Ranger 2 is coming out. This is collecting Mighty Morphin 21 through 22, Power Rangers 21 through 22, Power Rangers Unlimited, the Death Ranger 1, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 100. 224 pages, nope, not $100, sorry, $19.99. That would be ridiculous. Star Trek Picard Omnibus is coming out from the world of IDW. And this is written by Star Trek Picard co-creator and supervising producer Kirsten Beyer and fan favorite Mike Johnson, with art by Angel Hernandez, 192 pages, $24.99. So if you're a fan of the Picard series or just Star Trek The Next Generation in general, check that out. From the world of Titan Comics, we are getting Dead Space trade paperback Volume 3. And also getting Disenchantment volume, or the hardcovers volumes 1 through 3, and that is coming out in a slipcase edition. We're getting the Star Wars Insider trade paperback, the High Republic Tales of Enlightenment trade edition, and then Tank Girl is coming out. And this is Tank Girl Unclenched, the trade paperback slipcase edition. So you'll have the regular cover by Jamie Hewlett, who of course does a lot of the artwork internally, and this is by Alan Martin. Brett Powerson also doing some stuff, $59.99. But there's also a direct market cover, and that direct market cover is supplied by Ashley Wood. So this is collecting 3 of the trade paperbacks all in one slipcase. So it collects 21st Century Tank Girl All-Stars, and The Wonderful World of Tank Girl. And you get 4 art cards included in there. From the world of manga, we are getting the Cat's Eye Omnibus. I thought that had already come out, but again, I've already done an overview. Direct market and book market, it's a mess right now. But it is being published by Kana Books. And City Hunter is also being published by Kana Books. And oh my gosh, it was a treat to read that. Both of those are just so good in their own way. Disney's Twisted Wonderland manga, Savannah Claw Volume 2, is coming out that very same week, as well as the Isekai Metaller coming out that very same week. Isekai, it's weird to hear like these titles that come from Japan. Because that term Isekai has just now become a term here in America. People know what it is. It's your Alice in Wonderland type of story. It's your Wizard of Oz, where a human being, whether boy or girl, goes to another world, and it's just become now part of our language. It's weird, but I don't know. I kind of dig it. I like the fact that people now know what it is. Isekai Tensei Recruited to Another World. Speaking of Isekai, Volume 2 is coming out. My Best Friend is an Eldritch Horror light novel coming out, and that is a Volume 3. We are also getting the Phantom Busters Volume 1 coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks over at Viz. We're getting the Silence Volume 4 coming out that very same week. As well as The Prince is the Villainous. Oh, Prince is in the Villainous Way. That is being published by the folks over at Tokyo Pop. And we're getting the Sleeping on Paper Boats Volume 1 coming out that very same week. We're getting the Cat Mask Boy trade paperback coming out that very same week. And we're also getting the Working for God in a Godless World trade paperback coming out. And Sensei's Mail Order Food Complete Collection is coming out from the folks at Seven Seas Entertainment. And we're getting the Yaiba Samurai Legend Volume 2 from Viz. From other publishers, that very same week, we're getting 5-minute Marvel Super Stories coming out in a hardcover format. We are also getting the Alien Nation trade paperback Final Cut coming out that very same week. And I want to stress again the fact that a lot of the distribution is moving over. So you'll have things in here that normally would have been through Diamond, but now because of everything going on, you've got PRH, you've got Lunar, you've got Simon Schuster, you've got Diamond UK. Whew, so please keep that in mind when going through these. And by the way, it is a nightmare to put this together too. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being dramatic. It's just fact that it is a nightmare to put this list together. So thank God for the folks over at Comic Releases that kind of simplify things for you all. Where was I? Alienation? Did I talk about Alienation? I did. Okay. Alcrum hardcover is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks over at... who is this? See, like, it doesn't even say who the publisher is. This is $18.99. It's by Marta Palesi and Viviane To. There has to be an easier way to do this, I swear. Sorry, behind the scenes drama. All the Fighting Parts is coming out that very same week. And that is coming out as a hardcover format. And that one is $14.99. And it was a William C. Morris Debut Award finalist. Hannah V. Sawyer and Dina Micah Fleming are the creators behind that. And we are also getting the Art of Carlos Esquera coming out in a hardcover format. And that's being published by the folks at 2000 AD. And Carlos Esquera, of course, the co-creator of not just Strontium Dog, but Judge Dredd. $34.99. So it's got a lot of his work from 2000 AD. The Asgardians hardcover volume 3 is coming out, and that is Loki from First Seconds. This is by George O'Connor. And Asterix Collector hardcover volume 4, Asterix the Gladiator, is coming out. That's being published by the wonderful folks at Paper Cuts, who are working together with Mad Cave, $19.99. And these are big editions. I need to do an overview of those as they're coming out. And Astrobots Volume 1 is coming out from the folks over at Massive. And this is written by Simon Furman, and Hector Trunick is the artist. $17.99. And I believe, there's a first edition variant too. Bat-Pat Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that it is being released as a hardcover, Monsters Among Us. And we are also getting the Brandon Sanderson's White Sand hardcover slipcase edition coming out that very same week. And I think this one has already come out as a hardcover. This is being published by the folks at, I want to say Dynamite, unless he's self-publishing this. Because Dynamite did the original one. This is $199. And we're also getting the Catstronauts Space Tactic box set. It is a graphic novel box set from Little Brown Ink, as well as the Champion of the Sky Realms, and that is a volume 2 coming out that very same week. And that one is by Jerry Huntman, $12.99. And that same week, we are getting the Croaking hardcover volume 2, as well as the DC art of Jorge Jimenez hardcover coming out. However, there's also a direct market cover of the DC art of Jorge Jimenez. The EC Epitaphs from the Abyss volume 2 is coming out. And this is the new EC stuff. This is the new EC horror. And it is done, or being published by the folks at Oni Press. You have a lot of different writers, so this is an anthology series. This is collecting epitaphs from the Abyss 5 through 8. And we are also getting the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers Times of No Money and Other Stories coming out that very same week. That is being published by the folks over at Bannock Graphics. We are also getting the Garbage Pail Kids 40th Anniversary Edition coming out that week. The Gotcha Man is getting a deluxe edition treatment. I've already announced that on the channel, and that is being published by the folks over at Mad Cave. They're putting out these deluxe editions that are just hardcover versions of what they have previously published before in trade paperback. This one is $29.99. We are also getting the Geronimo Stilton Reporter 3-in-1 coming out that very same week. And that is a 3-in-1 Volume 6. Sorry about that, 3-in-1 Volume 6. Gold Digger Remastered from the folks over at Antarctic Press. This is a Volume 3. The Guardians of Dreamdark Volume 1 is coming out in a hardcover format. That is the Wind Witch Collector's Edition. The History of World War II is coming out that very same week. And that one, it looks like, I want to say this is Humanoids, if I'm not mistaken, publishing that book. I could be wrong. It's hard to tell because it's all kind of put together here. We are also getting Howl coming out in a trade paperback format. And we are getting the Inksplosion trade paperback volume 1 coming out that very same week. And also getting the Judge Dredd, A Better World is coming out that week, and that is being published by the folks at Rebellion 2000 AD. Kaiju Max, the Complete Collection, Trade Paperback Volume 3. That is always a joy to read in case you've never read Kaiju Max. It is so fun, and it is so good. And also available in a trade paperback edition. And we are getting the... what is this? The Kent State 4 Dead in Ohio coming out that week. And I think that one has been delayed. It was supposed to come out previously. But this is by Backdurf. And it is $19.99. I believe that one was supposed to come out a couple of months ago. But again, distribution has been so weird. Kindred Dragons is coming out in a hardcover format, Volume 1. And we're getting the Last Session trade paperback, Volume 2, coming out that week. And that is $14.99 by Jasmine Walls and Dozer Draws. And we are getting Let's Play hardcover, Volume 5, coming out that week from Rocket Ship Entertainment by Leanne Kresick, $24.99. And Lilith is coming out that same week, Volume 1, from the folks over at Vault. And I love that series. That's beautifully, beautifully drawn. We are also getting the Marvel art of Mike Allred coming out in a hardcover format. And that is being published by the wonderful folks over at Clover Press. There's also portfolio pieces that come with that in case you're picking it up that way. Or you got the Kickstarter version. Messiahs, Meshuggahs, Misanthropes, and Mysteries. Boy, that was a mouthful. That is coming out that very same week in a trade paperback format. We're also getting the My Dad Fights Demons in a softcover format. My First Disney Pal hardcover, Mickey Mouse, is coming out that week. But we're also getting My First Disney Pal, Minnie Mouse, coming out that week. Both of those books are $10.99. And we're getting the Past Times coming out in a trade paperback format, as well as the Plot Holes trade paperback volume 1 coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Massive, and they also have a Day 1 edition. Robot, Archie and the World of the Future. That is an awesome freaking title, is coming out that very same week. And we are getting the Secrets of the Gnomes coming out that very same week. And I think this is one that I had. This is a hardcover format. And, oh man, it's the inspiration, of course, for David the Gnome. It's wonderful. If you haven't had a chance to it's a beautiful art book. And we are getting She Speaks the Women of Norse Myths in Their Own Words is coming out that very same week. Or I think She Speaks is what the title is. The Women of the Norse Myths in Their Own Words. $19.99. The title is so different than what's written down. That's why it gets a little confusing. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes is coming out that week. And that is done by Anais Flogney, $25.99. And 10-Ton Titan Terrier hardcover is coming out that very same week. 10-Ton Titan Terrier. There. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be to say. And we're also getting the Unexpected Hero Light Novel Volume 1. And This Slavery is coming out in a hardcover format. And we're getting Walt Disney's Donald Duck, The Lonely Lighthouse on Cape Cod, coming out that very same week. And that one is $38.99, and it is by the legendary Carl Barks. We are also getting What's Up, Superman and Friends. It's a pop-up magic book, And to wrap up that week is Zero, and that's with an X. And that is a trade paperback. Now, if you live in the EU and you're interested in purchasing any of these books, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code Near Mint Condition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of October 22nd from Marvel Comics, we are getting the Fantastic Four by Ryan North, Volume 6, Our World Under Doom. This is collecting issues 29 through 33 and Giant Size Fantastic Four number 1. And then, of course, it was relaunched with a brand new number 1, still with Ryan North and now Humberto Ramos on artwork. Marvel Masterworks, The Tomb of Dracula Volume 5 is coming out, collecting The Tomb of Dracula 41 through 55 and Doctor Strange number 14. The book has 328 pages, both covers available the same day, $75. And continuing, Marv Wolfman, and this time Steve Englehart doing some of the issues in here with, of course, illustrations by Gene Colan. Moon Knight Epic Collection Scarlet Redemption. J.M. DeMatteis takes us on this journey for this Scarlet Redemption story arc, but also collected in here is Mark Spector Moon Knight 26 through 38 and Amazing Spider-Man 353 to 358. That's right, baby. Round robin. One more again. 456 pages, $49.99. I swear that story has been collected everywhere. Red Hulk Volume 1, Prisoner of War is coming out, collecting Red Hulk 1 through 5 by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw. And this one's 120 pages, $17.99. S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hickman and Weaver Omnibus is coming out that same day, collecting S.H.I.E.L.D. the 2010 series 1 through 6, the director's cut 1 through 4, and S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hickman and Weaver 5 through 6, plus the S.H.I.E.L.D. Infinity comic from 2011. The book has 384 pages and retails for $75. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker adaptation is coming out, collecting the Rise of Skywalker adaptation 1 through 5. This book has a total of 128 pages and retails for $17.99. And we are also getting the Wolverine Old Man Logan, the Marvel Premiere Edition. So these are the smaller size books. And this is collecting Wolverine 66 through 72, plus the Wolverine Old Man Logan Giant Size number 1. 256 pages, $14.99. From the world of DC Comics, we are getting Absolute Preacher number 3. So volume 3 is coming back to print, and this is collecting issues 41 through 66 of Preacher and all the extra goodies that comes with this. This is Garth Ennis and, of course, Steve Dillon. $150, 736 pages. And we are also getting the DC Finest Events Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. So this is collecting every bit of the Red Sky stuff. I wonder how it's going to be mapped. That's the most interesting thing to me. Surely it's going to be mapped by month, but that... Oh, okay. Collected in here is Swamp Thing 39, Batman 389 to 391, Detective Comics 555 to 558, Justice League 244, Green Lantern 194, Wonder Woman 327, DC Comics Presents 78, Infinity Incorporated 18 through 19, Fury of Firestorm 41, All-Star Squadron 50 to 52, Crisis on Infinite Earths 1 through 4, and The Loser Special number 1. 544 pages, $39.99. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how that's mapped. And how it reads, more importantly, and what people will think about it. DC Sonic the Hedgehog, Ian Flynn and Adam Bryce Thomas, bringing this miniseries together. 120 pages, $17.99. My wife is so excited for that book. I think if she had to pick all of the books that she's excited for in the month of October, that would be her number 1. And we are also getting the Swamp Thing by Len Wein and Kelly Jones, the deluxe edition coming out that very same week. And that one is collecting Swamp Thing 94 and 100, Batman 521 and 522, Convergence Swamp Thing 1 and 2, Swamp Thing the 2016 series 1 through 6, and Swamp Thing Winter Special number 1. 432 pages, $49.99. And we are also getting not only the Robin or Teen Titans Robin, the connecting cover editions, but we're also getting the Teen Titans Starfire connecting cover edition that very same week. And that is definitely being geared towards kids. A book that has a price kids can afford, but probably not for kids, absolutely not for kids, is Y the Last Man, the Compact Comics edition, collecting the first 10 issues of this magnificent series. I love this series. 248 pages, $9.99. And another great way to get people involved in it and reading these stories. From Image Comics, we are kicking it off with the 66 compendium, or no, 68 compendium, not 66. This is based on the original one-shot, the 68 one-shot by Mark Kidwell and Nat Jones, and the first 4 issues of the miniseries. And it is the first appearance of the legendary Jungle Jim and beyond. This is the Absolute 68 collection, offering every red dripping bit of the full series, the one-shots, and the short backup stories. $59.99. I don't know what that's about, honestly, but that kind of hooked me. I do know what the next series is about because this has been already collected in a hardcover edition, and that is Fish Flies. It is Jeff Lemire's next series, coming back now in a trade paperback format. And if you haven't had the chance to read it, it's Jeff Lemire, so you know what you're getting out of this. This is the first 7 issues, or I'm sorry, the 7-issue miniseries, $24.99. It's about this young Canadian girl that makes friends with perhaps a big fish fly that only comes around a few times a year. The next book from Image Comics is the Olympus, the Knoll Hunter trade paperback, coming out that week. And we are also getting the Saga trade paperback with a new printing, so that means a new cover. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we're getting Brooklyn Dreams. This is by J.M. DeMatteis and Glenn Barr, and this one is 408 pages. It is a hardcover for $34.99. Cyberpunk 2077, Psycho Squad, is coming out that very same week, and that one is by Dan Waters, Kieran McCown, and Giada Marchisio, and $19.99, 104 pages. We are also getting the Jump Scare trade paperback coming out that very same week. That is by Cullen Bunn and Danny Luckert, and it's collecting the 4-issue miniseries. That one is 96 pages and retails for $19.99. And coming out that same week is the Vatican City. And that trade paperback is by Mark Miller and Per Berg, collecting the first 3 issues, and it is for mature audiences, 104 pages, $19.99. And we are getting the Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Library Edition Volume 1. This is by Michael Morecci, Cecile Castellucci, and Amanda Debert. This is collecting 12 issues of Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, 280 pages, $59.99. Plants vs. Zombies, the Omnibus Volume 3 is coming out, and this one is 248 pages, $19.99. From the world of Boom Studios, we're getting The Red Mother, the complete collection by Jeremy Hahn and Danny Luckert, and this is collecting all 12 issues of the series. That one is 296 pages, $19.99. IDW is bringing us The Bridge Planet 9 from Jared Throne, and that one is 208 pages for $19.99. Titan Comics, this is the week we are getting the Blade Runner, the 2029, the complete series Omnibus coming out, both covers, and this is collecting 2029 miniseries Reunion, Echoes, and Redemption, $49.99 by Mike Green, Mike Johnson, and Andre Guinaldo. are the creators behind that. And we're also getting Conan the Barbarian Bound in Blackstone, the deluxe edition, coming out that same week. This is the one that I got to announce, and mine was lost in the mail, so they had to send me another one. So hopefully I'll be doing an advanced overview of that fairly soon. Collecting the first 4 issues, $29.99, and in a big, big format. And also 2 covers that same day. Speaking of 2 covers, Gun Honey! The trade paperback volumes 1 through 3 are coming out that same week for $49.99. You have the regular edition. This is by Yi Hyun Lee. The cover is, and then you have the direct market cover, and that one is by Alex Rowland. Again, it's got the same content. It's got the first 3 trade paperbacks, and it includes the 3 art cards. And Peanuts, the 3rd Classics Peanut collection, is coming out that very same week in a slipcase edition. From the world of manga, Dark Horse Comics has given us an Innocent Rogue Omnibus Volume 1. This is a follow-up to their Innocent series, and it has got gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. From Kodansha, we're getting Agent Demi-Human Complete Collection Volume 5. This is from Gamon Sakurai. At 580 pages, $24.95. We are also getting the Blue Lock Season 1 Part 2 manga box set. I just opened my first one up, so I'm excited to get the second box set. And this one is $64.95, collecting volumes 7 through 11. And we're getting the Gachiakuta Volume 8. My brother is loving this series. I'm loving the artwork that he showed me. And apparently people's got the hots for the manga ka behind that one. That's by Kei Urana. All I know is that art looks phenomenal, and I cannot wait to read that. My Hero Academia from Viz, Volume 42 is coming out. My New Devil Wife is coming out that very same week. And that one is being published by One Piece Books. We are also getting Tokyo Fears Rhapsody coming out that very same week. And Beware the Villainous Volume 5. That one is being published by the folks over at Easy Press. That one is $20. Twin Stars Exorcist Volume 35 is coming out, as well as The Vagabond, the Definitive Edition, Volume 4 coming out from Viz. And World After Fall Volume 11 is coming out that very same week. Continuing the Red River 3-in-1 editions, we are getting Volume 5 that same week, and I need to catch up before those books go out of print. I am not missing out on those again. It happened to me one time, not again. And those are $16.99 by Chie Shinohara is the mangaka behind that. From other publishers, we're getting the 5-minute Mediki Korno Starfall hardcover. This is the Starfall Stories, $12.99. And that is by Tokidoki Publishing that. Interesting. 9 Times My Work Has Been Ripped Off is coming out that very same week. And that is by Raymond Biesinger and $18.95. I love that cover. Something simple and amazing about that. Alley Oop Against Outlanders Complete Sundays is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Alley Oop Sir Clank of Far Outman coming out that very same week. And Alley Oop Meets Napoleon. All of those are trade paperback editions, and all of them in landscape size. The All Negro Comics, America's first black comic book, is coming out in a trade paperback format. There's a lot of work that went into that one. That one is $12.99. A lot of research, and it's the winner of an Eisner Award. We are also getting The Art of Judge Dredd by Jock coming back from 2000 AD and Rebellion 2000 AD at that. And we are getting the Beasts Beneath the Winds in hardcover format. Tales of the Southeast Asia's Mythical Creatures. Big Ideas That Changed the World, hardcover volume 7. Keep It Clean is coming out that very same week. And we are getting the Kathy 50th Anniversary Collection, and that is coming out in a softcover format. And the Complete Full Tilt Boogie is coming out that week from the folks at Rebellion 2000 AD, $27.99. The Dark Garbage and Poev's second head is coming out that very same week, and that's being published by the folks at Floating World Comics. And we are getting the Diary of an 8-Bit Warrior Volume 7, Hour of Enchantment, coming out that week. That is by Andrews McNeil. As well as the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Volume 20, and that's coming out in a hardcover format. My gosh, Volume 20. Fans of that have to be eating that up. And Escaping Ukraine, Finding Hope. This is the hardcover edition, and it is also in a bilingual format. This is from Green Card Voices, publishing the book. Ephemerata hardcover, Shaping the Exquisite Nature of Grief, is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Facing Feelings hardcover, Inside the World of Reina. Oh, that's really cool. This is from Graphics, and it's Inside the World of Reina Telgemeier, who of course did Smile and all those books. I mean, those books are huge. What is it? Guts and Sisters and Ghosts. Ghosts is amazing. I love that book. And Drama, I think, was the other one that she did. That's really cool that we're finally getting a little behind the scenes of her. And we're getting the Frazetta Gallery series, Warriors hardcover volume 1, coming out that very same week. And that is coming out in a hardcover format. $54.95. We have Simon Bisley, Jim Zub, Bill Sienkiewicz, and Frankie Frazetta, Liam Sharp, just to name a few of the creators behind that. And we're getting the Futuristic Rockets, Robots, Ray Guns of Space Age pop culture hardcover, coming out that very same week. And also getting the Ghosts trade paperback, coming out that very same week. And Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer Volume 1 is coming out. There are 2 editions. There's a limited edition by Carrie Randolph cover, and then there's the Cortland Ellis cover. History of Comics, The Great Depression, is coming out in a trade paperback edition. And we are also getting the Hunger, Bill Sienkiewicz Premiere Edition, coming out that very same week. And that's being published by Lab Press. And that week also gives us the Judge Dredd trade paperback, One-Eyed Jacks. The Ken History and Style of an Icon is coming out in a hardcover format. That same week, we are getting the Night Creatures hardcover Firefly. And that one is being published by the folks at Abrams. Nocturnos is also coming out in a hardcover format. Oni Press is releasing the Out of Alcatraz hardcover. And I will be interviewing both of the creators on the channel. And I think, let me just double check when that is. I believe that is on October 15th at 5 p.m. Both Tyler and Chris will be joining me from Oni Press. Christopher Camwell, of course, and Tyler Crook, whom I love both of their work, and they just worked on this book, and I just started reading it this Monday, so can't wait to do an overview and talk about it. Path of Ascension, the light novels, volumes 2 and 3 are coming out that same day. The Perfect Crime Party is getting a restock that very same day. And Sesame Street hardcover, What Hat Is That, is coming out that very same week. The Sheets Deluxe Edition hardcover slipcase set is coming out. If you have not read this, it is a phenomenal series. It's a masterpiece. I love it. It will definitely show up in my top 10. So, yeah, I recorded the overview of it because they sent me an early copy of it. So, hopefully I'll be putting that on the channel here in the next week or so. Smurfs Archives Volume 3 from the folks at Paper Cuts. Of course, Mad Cave doing that book. The Space Between the Trees is coming out in a hardcover format. And we are also getting the Ultraman Art Book Volume 1 in a hardcover format. As well as the Winging trade paperback. Oh, I thought it said winning. Winging trade paperback coming out that very same week. And Witches of Pepperwood Bay hardcover is coming out that very same week. And Jin Hunter is coming out from the folks at Black Box Comics. From Marvel Comics, we're kicking off the last week with Marvel and Disney, What If? This is collecting a bunch of what if stories, like what if Donald Duck is Wolverine, what if Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald are the Fantastic Four, what if Goofy is Spider-Man, what if Donald Duck is Thor, what if Minnie Mouse is Captain Marvel, what if Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Minnie, and Pluto assembled the Avengers, what if Donald Duck is Iron Man? So it's those type of stories, and of course, what if Goofy became Spider-Man? That's ridiculously awesome. 224 pages, $24.99. Luca Barbieri and Riccardo Secchi with Lorenzo Pastriovicchio are the creators behind that. Marvel Tales by J. Michael Straczynski, collecting Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon, Captain America and Volstagg, Nick Fury and Fin Fang versus Fin Fang Foom, Hulk and Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider versus Galactus, Spider-Man versus the Sinister 16. This is 200 pages, $24.99. Leno Francis Yu supplying the cover. You have Will Robson, Bernard Chang, and Elena Casagrande supplying the artwork, working with J. Michael Straczynski. Power Man Timeless by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing with Juan Cabal and Bernard Chang. And Andre Bresson is the cover artist, and this is collecting Timeless #1 and the Power Man Timeless 1 through 5. She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell Omnibus. And this is collecting She-Hulk from 2022, 1 through 15, Sensational She-Hulk 1 through 10, Marvel Comics 1, The She-Hulk Story. This is 624 pages, $100. And also that week, we are getting the Venom Epic Collection Planet of the Symbiotes. And this one here is collecting Venom Along Came a Spider 1 through 4, Venom the Hunted 1 through 3, material from Amazing Spider-Man Super Special 1, Spider-Man Super Special 1, Venom Super Special 1, just Super Special, not Summer Super Special, Spectacular Spider-Man Super Special, and Web of Spider-Man Super Special 1, Venom Sinners Take All 1 through 4, Spider-Man Holiday Special #1 from 1995. 488 pages, $54.99. Wolverine by Saladin Ahmed Volume 2, Call of the Adamantine. So I guess those are the people that have the adamantium. The Wolverine 6 through 12. Oh yeah, that was the setup for the first volume. This is collecting Wolverine 6 through 12, 192 pages, $24.99. From the world of DC Comics, we're getting, my gosh, 1, 2, 3. There are 4 Omnis this last week. Woo! Hold on to your wallets. Batman, the Brave and the Bold Across the Universe is coming out, and this is I want to say this is the web series, if I'm not mistaken. No, it is not. It is Batman, the Brave and the Bold 13 through 16 by Dennis Culver, Chris Cantwell, Jackson Lansing, and Trevor Hairsine with Javier Rodriguez doing the art. 168 pages, $17.99. Green Lantern by Robert Venditti Omnibus Volume 1 drops this week. And it is collecting Green Lantern Corps 21 through 34, Green Lantern 21 through 34, the Green Lantern New Guardians 23 to 24, Green Lantern Annual 2, Green Lantern Corps Annual 2, Green Lantern New Guardians 23 to 24. I've already said that. Why is that listed twice? Secret Origins 3 and 9, Red Lanterns 24, and Green Lantern 23.1 Relic. The book has a total of 856 pages and retails for $100. House of Mystery, the Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 1 is getting a new printing, collecting issues 174 to 200, 792 pages, $125, and that is a Ryan Sook cover. Not sure if the trade dress is going to be the same. Jonah Hex All-Star Western Omnibus. Man, this top 10 is going to be difficult. But Jonah Hex All-Star Western Omnibus, this is one that was, I think we did an announcement of it with the updated stuff, because unfortunately there's just not a lot of information, but then we found out that it is collecting All-Star Western 0 through 34 in here. Justin Gray with Jamie Palmiotti working on the book. The book has a total of 1,064 pages, $125. Justice League by Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV, Omnibus Volume 2. This was going to be a one-and-done Omni, but then they decided to split it up into two different Omnis. This is collecting issues 19 through 39 of Justice League, plus Batman Who Laughs 1 through 7, The Batman Who Laughs, The Grim Knight #1, DC's Year of the Villain Special #1, and then Year of the Villain Hell Arisen 1 through 4. 896 pages, $125. The Wake is getting a new edition by Scott Snyder and Sean Gordon Murphy. And this is a trade paperback edition for $19.99, collecting all 10 issues of The Wake. Perfect time, right around Halloween. So yeah, it's a great miniseries. From the world of Image Comics, we are getting The Cowl, Volume 1, coming out in a trade paperback edition. And this one here is, let's see, 1964, collecting the first 4 issues, $17.99 by Kyle Higgins and Alex Siegel. Rod Reyes doing the artwork. The Department of Truth, Volume 6, Twilight's Last Gleaming, is also coming out that week. It's good to see Department of Truth coming back. I'm a big fan of that series, and I want more of the hardcovers. This is collecting issues 28 through 33 by James Tynion and Martin Simmons, $16.99. Lady Mechanica trade paperback volume 2, Tablet of Destinies, is also coming out that very same week. And that one has been previously published before, I want to say. I don't think it's anything new or any new stories in this one. And we are also getting the Monkey Meat trade paperback volume 2, The Summer Batch, coming out that very same week. As well as Napalm Lullaby coming out in a trade paperback format. And that one is, let's see, this one is by Rick Remender. Oh, and teaming up with Bengal again, collecting all 10 issues, $19.99. Man, looks good. We're also getting the Paper Girls Paperback Edition Volume 1. So this is a new printing of the series. And Rook Exodus Volume 1 is coming out in a deluxe edition. If you haven't had a chance to read this, you've just been waiting for these books to drop in a hardcover format. Look no further than this. I got to announce this. Very cool. Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok collecting all of the 6 issues, $39.99. It's been seriously one of my favorite releases this year. One of my favorite reads. Universal Monsters is coming out with The Mummy this time around. You have 2 covers, and you have Faith Aaron Hicks and Lee Luthridge, and then you have the direct market cover by David Talaski. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, you are getting the Who Are the Power Pals coming out that week by Dwayne Murray and Ahmed Rafat, Rob Jones. And this is collecting the 4-issue miniseries, 128 pages, $19.99. The Complete Harrow County Compendium, collecting all of Harrow County, 1,080 pages, and retailing for $59.99. It does not have the side stories or the, what are they called, the extra stories from the world. Tales from Harrow County, but it does have the complete Harrow County. From the world of Minor Threats, Welcome to Twilight Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that one is by Patton Oswalt, Brian Michael Bendis, Matt Fraction, Gail Simone. Look at those names. Welcome to Twilight 1 through 4. 112 pages, $19.99. The EC Archives Two-Fisted Tales Volume 4 is coming out, collecting Two-Fisted Tales issues 36 through 41. There is a forward by Colleen Coover, and this one's 216 pages, $19.99. Avatar Tales from Pandora Omnibus is coming out, and this one has a total of 480 pages, $39.99. We are getting from the world of Boom Studios, The Graveyard Club, coming out in a hardcover and a softcover format. The softcover format is $19.99. The hardcover, $24.99. They have the exact same content. And this collects Graveyard Club, Revenge Game, and Fresh Blood. R.L. Stine and Carola Borelli are the creators behind that book. And I Heart Skull Crusher Volume 2 is coming out from Josie Campbell and Alessio Zono. Collecting issues 6 through 10, 144 pages, $16.99. From IDW, we're getting Frankenstein Alive, the complete collection coming out that week from Steve Niles, Bernie Wrightson, and Kelly Jones. You had me at Bernie Wrightson and Kelly Jones. The book has a total of 104 pages. It is a trade paperback, $19.99. And then we're getting the Star Trek Defiant Volume 5, No Old Warriors by Chris Cantwell and Angel Unzueta, collecting issues 22 through 25. We are also getting Monsters We Make, Volume 1, coming out that week from Corey Kenshin and Corey McKell and Andrew Gong. The book has 264 pages, $11.99. From Dynamite, we're getting Vampirella Archives Volume 4 coming out that very same week. And these are the trade paperback editions. This is collecting issues 22 through 28 of Vampirella from 1970. Oh, and the 1972 annual. $34.99, 400 pages. And from the world of manga, we're getting the Akira hardcover collection, Volume 3. This, of course, is the masterpiece by Katsuhiro Otomo. It has been released in trades. It's been released in color editions from Marvel, and, of course, the Kodansha box set. But this is individually coming out. $29.99, 288 pages. If you haven't had a chance to read Akira, it's completely suggested. DNA DNA Angel is coming out with a new edition. That's freaking cool. I had no idea they were doing this series. So DNA Angel is coming out with a new edition. Volume 1, Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku. Why they gotta treat otaku so messed up? Even in Japan. Actually, especially in Japan, they get treated rough. Guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, Volume 3. The ongoing journey of this guy, I assume, was being catfished. Or this lady that was being catfished. Hitman Stands, Volume 2 is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Isekai Samurai, Volume 2 coming out that week. And we are getting the Liar Liar Volume 3 coming out that very same week, as well as the Licorice Recoil Volume 4 from the folks over at Yen Press. The Manga Classics Sherlock Holmes Trade Paperback Volume 1, A Study in Scarlet, is coming out that very same week. And continuing, Bocchi the Rock, my gosh, Bocchi the Rock Volume 7 from the folks over at Yen Press is coming out that very same week. Monster Colored Island Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. As well as the, wow, that is being published by Yen Press, sorry. Raven Dark Hero Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Takahashi from the Bike Shop Volume 3 coming out. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun from the world, or from the folks over at Yen Press, Volume 23 is coming out. Plus Überblatt, the Deluxe Edition Volume 4. And Yankee and Caramelizer is coming out that week. What is that title about? From the folks over at Yen Press. From other publishers, we're getting A Lungful of Brine coming out that week, and that is being published by the folks at Afterlight Comics. We're also getting the Asterix Volume 41, Asterix and Lusitania. The Ballad of Halo Jones is coming back out with their hardcover Omnibus edition. So in case you missed out on it, it is fully in color, and oh my gosh, if you've never read it, you'll be kicking yourself because you would wish it to continue, but sadly they did not continue it, and it got so good. Bank Volume 1, the first generation, 1815 to 1848, Waterloo Insiders coming out, as well as Blade Forger coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Brink Book 1 coming out that very same week. And that one is being published by the folks at, that's 2000 AD, Rebellion 2000 AD, by Dan Abnett and Inch Kubert, $17.99. We are getting the Chronicles of Avatar, softcover volume 4, Avatar The Last Airbender, The Legacy of Yang Shen. DC Sketchbook of Jorge Jimenez is coming out in a trade paperback format. And this is the second... Okay, that's a little bit different than the DC art of Jorge Jimenez. Dune Volume 3, The Prophet Collector's Edition, is coming out from the folks over at Abrams. And we are also getting the Epic Super Teenage Wasteland coming out, and that is a Volume 1 that very same week, as well as Flash Gordon Classics Collection Volume 5. This is the hardcovers that the folks at Batcave has been putting out, and of course this is a landscape format, $49.99, looking at the Dan Barry era. And we are getting the Fox Bunny coming out that very same week. And that one is $19.99 from Andy Hartzell. We are getting the Golden Age Classics Dollman Softie coming out that week. You'll have people like William Woolfolk and Al Bryant, Bill Ward, Alex Kotze working on this, $32.99. As well as the Harker Volume 1 of 2, Book of Solomon, coming out that very same week. And the Harvey Black Cat Comics Volume 2 is coming out in a hardcover format and in a slipcase format, as well as the Harvey Black Cat Comics slipcase Volume 4 coming out that very same week. We are also getting the Indisputable Existence of Santa Claus hardcover, The Mathematics of Christmas, because now we're throwing mathematics in there, so logic. And then Indoor Kid is coming out in a trade paperback format. And we are also getting the Last Spartan trade paperback volume 1, Red Tape, coming out that week. This one is limited to 2,500 copies, and allocations may have to occur. The Lightlark Saga Volume 2 is coming out, the Nightbane Collector's Edition, and that is a hardcover format, as well as the Lightlark Saga Volume 3, but that is coming out in a trade paperback edition. Nacelaverse Volume 2, Sectars and Power Lords, is coming out, as well as Nanocosmos, coming out in a hardcover format. And we are also getting the October Girl trade paperback volume 1 coming out that very same week. And I love that cover. That one is by Matthew Dow Smith, $14.99, and it is being published by Maverick Books, which is their young adult line. And Out is coming out in a trade paperback format. It's by Dan Abnett and also Mark Harrison, $25.95. And we are getting the Paw and Order hardcover volume 2 coming out that very same week. I love the puns. And we're getting the PS Art Books Black Hawk Softie volume 20. It's not the only Softie we're getting. We're getting the PS Art Books Police Comics Softie coming out that week, and that is a volume 3. And look who's on that cover, none other than Plastic Man, $32.99. And PS Art Books Startling Comics Softie volume 3 is coming out that very same week. That one is also $32.99. Punchline Digest Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that one is $19.99 by Bill Williams and being published by Antarctic Press. We are getting the Red Threads hardcover coming out that very same week. And that's by Eli Win Hayama, $26.99. And we are getting the Rick and Morty Complete Collection Trade Paperback Volume 5 from the folks at Oni Press. And, I'm sorry, that's a compendium, not Complete Collection. Silver Age Classics Space Adventure Softie Volume 10 is coming out that very same week. As well as the Slasher's Apprentice coming out in a trade paperback format. That's by Justin Richards and Val Halverson, $17.99, published by Mad Cave. Separated from Santo is coming out that week, and that is being published by the folks over at Heritage House, and that one is $24.95. Snoopy, A Big Box of Happiness is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Three Thieves hardcover, Captive Prince, coming out that same week. And that is published by Paper Cuts by Scott Chandler. And we're also getting the Two Kinds, trade paperback volume 6, coming out that very same week. Wes Anderson's A Retrospective is coming out in a hardcover format. So if you're a Wes Anderson fan, that book should speak to you. That is being published by Gemini Gift Books, and that one is $45. Wish We Weren't Here is coming out that very same week in a trade paperback format by Peter Cooper, $19.99. It looks to be in a landscape edition. And Quiet Crossings is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Emanata. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsor,
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And those were the books that are coming out in October of 2025. Let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited for, what you didn't even know was coming out. And then, of course, I'll be revealing my top 10 list it'll be this Sunday. So yeah, check that out. If you want, again, the full written documentation, that can be found on our Patreon, starting at $1 a month. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.